This one I don't understand why everybody got so mad about. I guess the conservatives in the US. You're mad that college players are going to get paid, even if it's probably going to be minimum wage. But dude, you understand they can become handicapped for working, and because they're not paid, they have no protection. I've met men that had eye injuries. I've had fingers stuck to the back of my eye, almost became blind from it. Thank God it disappeared. Destroyed my knee multiple times for my schools to get paid nothing, just for an opportunity to get to college, which I realized with my European citizenship, I didn't need to compete. I could have gone to school for free and achieved the highest level of education in this country without a dollar in debt. But instead, because of just so many people that want to do it, they believe it's a thing only for the wealthy. Well, I don't see this as anything but blaxploitation. Look at how many black players are there, and most end up either with no job after. I think only 1% make it pro, and let's not pretend that the pro life is worth anything more. You will not make a McDonald's salary if you count the years you've trained to the end. Most athletes will never make what a McDonald's worker made if they start young, and then by the time you retire, the McDonald's employee most likely could have retired much earlier and earned much more money than you. So I understand, because a lot of people want to do it drives the value down. But why is it okay for citizens to become handicapped doing that? But if a man that cleans the stands, which required less dedication, I'm not saying that man deserves to be hurt, but I'm just saying it did not require this elite athletics and school and commitment. Why does he get a retirement and a pension and pay, but the athlete doesn't deserve that? That would be my question to the guys like Jericho Green. Why are you mad? So you can't get happy about anybody, the system ever working for anybody. Jesus, man. It's not like these are just wealthy kids. These dudes, many of them could not afford to live anywhere. Many were homeless. Many couldn't afford to wash their clothes. I knew half of my teams I was on didn't have shoes. They would have to get shoes from the college. The colleges have to provide shoes because most of us otherwise, I played in vans my first 2 years. And I get it. You don't want anything I appreciated stuff more because it wasn't given to me free. Yeah, but it really wouldn't have ruined my work ethic if I would have earned $8 an hour to play basketball for 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day. Is this really too much for the university? They made millions off of us. Our administrators are paid thousands of dollars, probably in the six figures. So the coaches get robbed too. The head coaches are good, but the assistant coaches, man, they made maybe $2,500 for a season. Maybe most were telling me that they would get a promise to get paid at the end of the year. And then most of the time it didn't happen, or it got cut in half, or something changed. But the money they made for the entire season traveling all over the country was garbage. So this I don't really understand. Do you think, will this be the Larry Elder type of argument? That you'll enable people so that they won't try hard to be able to. I think people are going to want to try hard in basketball. People try hard without ever getting the promise of being paid. So I really don't see this killing their momentum and all of a sudden the level goes down in sports. No, it would have made many guys like me who knew they were going to make it because I learned the level I had to compete at and then go higher. I could have stopped doing a garbage job which would have worked somebody else, which would have given an opportunity for somebody else to make money, and I could have focused on the sport. This would have been a huge for my health, my injuries. It could have helped me in a lot of ways. It's very stressful to do school, work, side jobs on weekend, have social life with many women, friends, guy friends you're throwing parties with, and trying to manage all of this stuff together while staying in elite shape, eating crap food. It's difficult, and you feel no pity for us. But the sheriff that guards us earns $75,000 a year for sitting on campus. The players shouldn't get a penny. Not even food stamps? We don't want them, but I'm just saying a lot of the athletes are on them, and they need them to eat. You know how many athletes I knew that grew up in good neighborhoods, spoke the best English, were getting along great in society, and could not afford to eat? They would come to practice hungry. I bought lunch for my teammates multiple times. Or just had snacks on me because I was a lazy fat bastard back then when I started to play. So I always had food on me. But my God, I can't... I gave a guy... There was a guy... No, I didn't give it to him. He came in eating sugar once. He had nothing else to eat. I only had a couple bucks on me, but I had to give him that, man. Come on, go get something to eat. You're gonna spoon sugar into your mouth and make it... Yeah, I have 2 more days before I can get my money. Whoa. These parents support their kids because it's a good way for them to get out of bad neighborhoods. We don't really have opportunities to get out of bad neighborhoods unless we're serious athletes. Or I guess drug dealers. I guess you got a chance to make it in the rap game. I really don't know what the big opportunities are where I grew up. There's some union work. We used to call that the lottery there. The town that I'm from and the lottery. But that was it. And it didn't really pay great. You had to go to work and they might send you home 3 days out of the week. You don't get paid for those days you go in. Yeah, great union. So, of all the things people get paid to do in the U.S., you can't even give recycling money to people. There you go, Gavin Newsom. If you green people want to do something, I think the idea that we have here with cans is a pretty good idea. They get 15 cents back on a can. They charge it to you when you buy it. You can afford it if you're buying that poison shit anyway. And when you recycle it, this keeps a lot of people alive. A lot of people get their food without needing the system, and they work for it. Unfortunately, they have to dig through trash cans for it. In Finland, people are pretty nice. They leave them on top of trash cans and stuff like that. But did it ruin anything? Nah. Did it help out a poorer group of people? Probably a little bit. And with that smaller group of people that are really ultra poor, man, they had to do a lot less crime, a lot less drug dealing. I can imagine, wow, what $1,000 a month would do for every citizen in the U.S. Those that have a job could finally afford a kid, could finally afford to expand and do their own job. Can you imagine how many women in California, Jericho Green, can you imagine how many women could just take their profile down from Craigslist tomorrow and stop being a hooker for the books? So that's my argument, the Republican Dan Crenshaw type thing where we don't give it to everybody for free. I got that. I understand the benefits of that. You appreciate it. But you also create a class of hookers, of men and women hookers, that was not there before. So you've created sex trafficking to pay for college because we believed college is the only way to become successful, which is ridiculous. The level of education you're going to get at a low college is garbage. You can pass university without ever taking a math class or a hard science. You can take human sexuality, lesbian studies, something like that, and that is enough to get you through. You will need an English class. That's it. Most of these classes are so easy that, let's be honest, I bought more than one book, but I bought books just to return them. I had money at the time, so I knew I'd only lose a little bit on it, and maybe I needed them. But to be honest, the entire time I was in college, they've lowered the standards so much that I felt it was only a challenge if I was just trying to pay attention in class and still pass the tests. Because, wow, if I can get 100% on these 2 projects right here, then I don't need to do any homework and I don't even need to come to the final. All right, so just do that, and that's my easy way out. I don't have to do the homework. That means I don't have to study the book. And if I know I'm good at tests, it's super easy. Super easy. Why is it wrong for athletes to make a small amount when we know they already make money? They already are paid. All the ones worth a damn make money. We make money in college. I made money in college. We're not meant to, but we have technical ways of doing it. I'm not going to snitch on how my university paid me cash, but it was quite a big chunk because in my 30s, it was not worth me going back to college to go to play for just the thrill of playing against Division I teams. I was excited by that. But when you have a good job, why would you go do that? But you figure, all right, I got one opportunity. I don't have kids. Let's try it. But if I would have been handicapped, which almost happened multiple times, and colleges did not pay for most of my treatment, they did not pay for rehab at all, ever. So it could have been devastating if these guys can't find ways to pay their players. I was hungry many nights. I had to wait for the pay to come. I had quit my job for months, and it took maybe 3-4 months for the system to kick in before I could get any pay for being at the university. But let me tell you this, of 30 students that came to my university to play basketball, I believe at the end of the season, there were 7 of us left. So what that means is 23 that made it through the first couple weeks. As soon as you've made it to the first classes, I think a week of them, maybe 2, I forget, I don't remember what the cutoff was, then that's when they kick everybody out. So let's say they do not kick you out before the time limit, because then they can't get the money back. Then they don't have to pay you, and you owe them money back because you've started classes. You must pay for the full year. And of course, they're going to charge something like 20 or 40,000 for an education that is with volunteer teachers or something like this. It was not very high level. Again, didn't require books for me to take most of the tests. I could keep going, but I've already done 11 minutes on this. I think it's enough. Well, I'll just finish it on the 23. So what happened to most of the other ones is many got stuck in the state and could never move back home to live with their parents or friends or girlfriends they had. So they just got stuck in the state because it would cost money to travel. They didn't have a job there. They'd either have to be with somebody that had a job and just live very poor. And everybody that got kicked out, that didn't finish the season, loses all the money they were supposed to get, that they thought they were getting, and now has to pay back the university for the whole year of school. So they might have been offered $20,000 to play for the year. Now you owe the school $20,000. It's not based on the money they were going to pay you, it's based on the cost of the school. Some schools cost $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. I'm sure there's more. I don't know the prices of those really expensive ones. So let's say you went to a Harvard and it's $100,000 a year or more. You would owe $100,000 if you got kicked out of the school after the classes start, once there's a period of time there. So you're telling me that to play basketball, you must take extreme economic risk that might devastate your entire family, leave you completely handicapped. And if you do not make it pro, and even if you make it to my level, nobody's going to just jump up and give you respect. No, I don't think anybody's even asked to see a game of mine. That's fine. I don't care. That's not what it's about. But you believe this thing, like it's just going to be awesome and given to you. Not really. Kids want to do what you do, but not if they knew the path, not if they knew the details. For me, it worked great because I had changed who I was, and I didn't really mind to attach my brain to something I truly enjoyed doing, which has paid me off in millions of other ways. Lots of scars, almost blindness, handicaps, almost occurring, surgeries multiple times. Who knows how well I'll walk in the future? Would I tell other men to do the same thing? No, it was very economically irresponsible. Too many years of training with no pay. Then you make it to college, no pay. Then you make it to university, maybe you get paid, a tiny percentage. And you definitely don't get paid enough to make up for all the years. So, and most people end up with opiate addictions. More people ended up fucked up than ended up pro, that's for sure. On drugs, homeless, no degree, huge amount of school debt for no degree, because they thought basketball was the way to go. But they didn't have the mindset to realize, oh, I'm really going to have to buckle down on the work. And if they say no girls on campus, I'm going to have to do that. For me, I just moved off campus. You're going to tell a 30-year-old man that I can't have a girlfriend? I said, oh, get out of here. So I just went and paid for my own apartment off campus because I thought that was the best way for them not to come in and check and find out, you have a girl? What a crime. The coaches knew, but then you can do stuff off campus, men. Think about these things. Sacrifice a bit more to be able to make yourself get through it. Maybe that's why I got here, but anyway. Basketball players should not have to face the handicap with no pay from the university. If a janitor gets hurt, he gets money for life if he loses a leg. If you lose a leg or the ability to walk or have nerve damage that's permanent, you get nothing. And enjoy your pain. And we're not going to treat your pain either. So, a little bit of socialism in some places, huh? Let's just think about what about the college athlete? Does it really make it better to make all these young men and women walk around? Let's not repair their knees. Great. How's that make them feel about their country, huh? So, there it is.